Hi, fifth graders. This is our first lesson in Module 2, which is all about multiplication and division. So before we get started on the new things, let's think about something we already know. So specifically, I want us to think about, what does 21 times 5 mean? So you probably did a little bit of this in fourth grade, and we did a little bit of this earlier this year. So there are two ways we could think of this problem. I could think of it as 5 copies of 21, like this. And there is no need to write this down. I just want you watching and thinking. So here's 5 copies of 21. I have 1 copy, 2 copies, 3, 4, and 5. So if I was trying to solve this problem, I could do 21 plus 21 plus 21 plus 21 plus 21. But I don't know what that is off the top of my head. Another way we could think about this is 21 copies of 5. So I could have 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus a whole bunch of them, dot, 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 plus 5 plus 5. So let's pretend this is my first copy, my second copy, my third copy, and I have 21 total. So that'll be my 20th, my 21st. Pretend I wrote them all out. So I could think of 21 times 5 as 21 copies of 5. 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5, 21 times. There are easier ways to solve this problem, though. That's why we do multiplication. So just thinking of this problem here, one way I could solve this that would make it a little bit easier would be if I took 20 of those copies and I multiplied it by 5. That would be just like doing 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 20 times. So let's solve that first. 20 copies of 5. 5 times 0 is 0. 5 times 2 is 10. So 20 copies of 5 would be 100. But I have this one last copy. 1 copy of 5. 1 times 5 is 5. So total, 20 copies plus 1 more. I have 21 copies. Total, that would be 105. But this isn't normally how we write a multiplication problem. Normally, we write it like this: 21 times 5. I combined the two, 20 plus 1, 21, times 5. And when I do this, I multiply the 5 times the 1, just like we did here, and the 5 times the 2, right there. This should be pretty familiar from last year. Another way you solved last year was using an area problem like this. So I'm going to put my 5 here, and then I'm going to split this up. Here's going to be my 1, and here's my 20s, because 20 plus 1 is 21. Then we solve for that inside. 5 times 1 is 5, and 5 times 20 is 100. Together, 100 plus 5 is 105. So there are lots of different ways we can solve these problems. Today, we are going to focus on these two methods, but instead of just having one number on the bottom, we're going to have 2. And maybe instead of 2 numbers on top, we might even work our way up to 3. So let's look at the new material with Module 2. And I want us to take a few notes just so we remember some of these things. So you need your math notebook, and then grab a sticky note. Remember, we sent some home at the beginning of the year because we are no longer in Module 1. So I have another sticky note here, and this is the sticky side. I wrote Module 2 on the non-sticky side, and I'm going to put that in. So grab your notebook, grab your sticky notes, and on the non-sticky side, write Module 2. When you're ready, go on to the next slide.